Welcome to our Sunday morning yoga class. We're going to begin our session today, and this morning we're going to be having a little bit of a focus on the Gunas. I've been looking at the different goddesses over the last couple of weeks following Navaratri festival, and I'm going to continue on that with a little bit more on the Gunas today. So when you're ready, just take a moment to connect into your body. So you can either remain lying down nice and comfortable and relaxed, or feel free to be in a comfortable seated position. And taking a moment to notice the sort of movement in the body and the mind as you settle into your body. You can begin by noticing any sounds around you. Take your awareness to distant sounds and really tune into your sense of hearing, the instrument of hearing, the ears. And notice any sounds closer that are inside the room that you're in. And then noticing as well any sounds inside your body. Any sort of gurgling sounds or swallowing sounds. The sound of the breath at the nostrils. Or any other internal sounds. Bring your awareness to your sense of smell and the nose, the nostrils. And bring your awareness to your sense of taste and the mouth, the tongue. Maybe even swirling your tongue around your mouth. And then being aware now of the sense of touch. So feeling your body lying down on the ground, that connection with the ground beneath. Feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. And the texture, the feeling of your clothing. If you have a blanket. Feeling the warmth of your hair on your head. And notice as well any tension that you may be carrying in your body now. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, letting your whole body relax. Giving the jaw a little wiggle from side to side. Stretch into your face muscles. Maybe even opening your mouth wide. And then relaxing again. And we can be aware of our state of mind as well. So we can tune in now to the thoughts. You might notice that there's a sort of constant stream of thought flowing through the back of the mind. And we don't always pick up on all of our thoughts. We might just notice some of them when we've drifted off and we're starting to get absorbed into a particular thought. And if that happens, just acknowledge your thought. You can say to yourself, I'm thinking about this, or I'm thinking about that. And then coming back into the present moment. And we're going to start observing the breath now, observing the natural breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. You may also like to focus on the rise and the fall of the belly, expansion on the inhalation, a gentle contraction on the exhalation. So when we consider the gunas, gunas literally means qualities. So in yoga philosophy in Ayurveda, the three gunas are essential qualities of nature that exist in all beings and all things. And each of the gunas are associated with specific characteristics. So sattva is purity and knowledge, and there's a lightness and a balance. Rajas is activity and desire. And even things like, movement and agitation and things like that are Rajas qualities. And tamas is a heaviness, a darkness, more of a lethargy. And these forces are present within us at all times and manifest in our reactions to certain situations and experiences. However, usually one of the gunas is always more dominant than the other two. So we can imagine even a triangle with each of these at a different part of the triangle, the 3 points, and that we fluctuate between the different points. And that our environment, our diet, lots of different things impact on these. So just consider which one may be dominant for you. And we're always working more toward a sattvic state, because depending on which of the gunas is more dominant has an impact on our words, thoughts and actions. So it affects the mind, the body. It's like a lens. So we can perceive things differently based on the quality that is present within us at any time. So when you're ready now, we're going to begin to gently start to circle the feet around if you're lying down, or you can circle the wrists and hands. And then we're going to begin still lying down. And we're going to draw the right knee in toward the chest. And drawing that right knee in toward you and just feeling that gentle pressure on the right side of your abdomen. Let's take a few breaths here. And then we can release the right leg down, and let's bring the left leg in. Draw the left knee in toward your chest. Breathing here. Feeling that sensation in your body. And then we can release the left leg down. Let's bring the right knee into the chest again. Take a nice deep inhalation, and as you exhale, lifting the head up toward the knee, the forehead toward the knee. And then as we inhale, lower the head and the shoulders down. And as we exhale, lifting up again. Good. And we're going to do this 2 more times. So inhaling, release. Exhale as you lift. Inhale. And exhale. And then we can release the head, the right leg to the ground. Bring the left leg in again. We'll do 4 times on this side. So we're inhaling first. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, release. Exhaling, lift. And 2 more. And then we can release the left leg down to the ground. Taking the arms down beside your body now, let's hook the thumbs onto the edges of the buttocks. stretching out, palms pressing into the ground, lifting up through the toes, extend into the heels. And when you're ready, inhale, let's raise the right leg up toward the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we're slowly lowering that leg down, and just before it reaches the ground, we'll inhale again, lifting the leg up. Exhale, lower the leg down just before it touches. Inhale, lift. We're doing 5 with the right leg, and then we'll do 5 with the left. And we can notice the mind and the quality. We can know that we're not the stream of our thoughts, that we don't need to identify with them, that we can just observe them. And as we do this practice, there's a little skylight above me, and I can just see the clouds passing by, and it's like that. We imagine that we're observing them, just floating by, the thoughts, not getting caught up in them. And then once you've released that, let the left leg relax. And then we can raise the right leg up. Let's start to circle the right leg around. And we'll do 5 times in each direction. We can inhale as the toes come toward us, and we can exhale that leg away. Just in your own time, then you can go in the other direction. 5 with this way, and then we'll be doing 5 in each direction with the other leg. And the lovely thing about the Gunas is that we can be aware that actually we do have some choice around the environment that we're in. Not always, but we do get to choose the different foods that we're eating, our diet, the different things that can also affect the mind and the body in different ways. And we can do things to help support us so that we can feel calmer and more sattvic. And we know through our yoga practice that at the end of the yoga practice, which is why many of us do it, is that we feel that calm centering, that sattvic sort of state. So once you've finished that, let the body relax for a moment. You can release the arms, the palms can face up. Take a beautiful breath in. And then exhale the breath all the way out. Beautiful. Let's bend our knees now. Take the soles of the feet on the ground. If you have a blanket like me, you can just fold it under so that the feet can rest on the ground. Arms down beside the body. When you're ready, let's raise our hips up toward the ceiling, opening through the front of the body, opening through the hips. Following the breath here. And then let's slowly roll down the spine now, gently rolling all the way down. And then when you're ready, coming up again, tuck the tailbone under, raising your hips, lifting the hips high. And we can slowly roll down the spine, releasing all the way to the ground. And we'll do one more when you're ready, raising the hips up again. We'll hold this for 5 or 6 breaths, pressing down through the big toes. The arms can press into the ground, or you can draw the shoulders under you and interlace the hands together behind the back. Well done, really good. And then we can release the arms, the shoulders, gently roll down the spine. And bring your knees into your chest, taking hold of your knees and squeezing them in towards your body. We can take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lifting the head up toward the knees. And then lower down, breathing in. As you exhale, lifting up again. Inhale, lower the head down and release your feet onto the mat. Separate the knees now and let the legs rest in butterfly. So the soles of the feet coming together. The knees gently relaxing. The hands can either rest on your thighs. They could come out to the side, or we could extend them up into a sort of Y shape, or even take hold of opposite forearms up above the head or the wrists. And just getting a release sort of through the shoulders and front of the chest, softening down to the hips and groin. Take a few breaths. You breathe in. Allow the sternum to lift and the heart to open. And as you breathe out, feeling the back of the body releasing to the ground. Releasing tension. And again, nice deep breath in. And slow breath all the way out. And then we can gently bring the knees back in toward us. And then let's walk the feet out toward the edges of the mat. Check you're in your center of your mat. And then we're going to do a little spinal twist. So the arms can come out to the sides at shoulder height, or you can interlace the hands behind the back of the head. This is our window looking legs. We can keep the feet where they are and then lower the knees over to the right. You can gently look out over the left shoulder. Inhaling back to center and then exhale the other way. Knees dropping over to the left, looking out over the right. And again, inhaling center, exhale to the side. Inhale center, and then exhale to the side. So we've done 2 rounds. So we've done each side twice. So we're going to do another 3. Just leave your breath. So 3 more on each side in your own time. As you exhale, really letting go of any tension. Being present in the body as well. Feeling with the breath, synchronizing the breath with the movement. And feeling that connection, so feeling the legs, and as you come back to center, feeling the feet on the ground, the earth, before you gently rock to the other side. And then once you finish both sides, walk the feet in, bring the knees into the chest one more time. And then taking hold of the knees, let's circle the knees around a few times in each direction. So they say that in this sort of Western world, rajas and tamas definitely sort of are dominant. So most people are in that really active state or that heavier sort of state. And some of that is because of our fast pace. We can go the other direction with our legs. And also the Western sort of diet too really influence that. Beautiful. Keeping the knees into the chest, we're going to do one more spinal twist. The arms can come out to the side. Keep the knees nice and high and now lower them over toward the right. And you can look out gently over your left shoulder, and we're going to hold here for about 4 breaths. So the Rajasic sort of diet includes a lot of the spicier foods and the sort of stimulants. So if you think of, the sugary drinks and sugary foods, the things that are sort of making us go up and down, the caffeine, and we can come back to center. We can go over to the other side. And the tamasic foods include the sort of fast food and overeating, overindulging, or eating leftovers even, they say, with less prana in it. And also meat eating is considered tamasic. Coming back to center, drawing the knees in again. This is just according to Ayurveda and yoga philosophy. Lower the feet onto the ground. Let's gently roll onto our side and support ourselves to come up. Ah, beautiful. We're going to come up onto hands and knees for some cat-cow and just get the spine nice and open as well. Really calming for our nervous system too. So stacking your joints, and when you're ready, moving through our cat-cow, feeling along the spine. And our sattvic diet is probably an obvious sort of healthy diet. It's that, well, it is more vegetarian, but it's also, vegetarian, organic as much as possible, whole foods, fruit and veg, even our legumes, and just a healthy vegetarian diet. The traditional Ayurvedic diet is vegetarian as opposed to vegan. So it does include dairy and honey. Let's come back to center. Take the knees together now so they're touching. And then let's stretch our right leg out behind us, and we can hold here, or we can also stretch the left arm forward. Focus on a point. Well done. Find your balance. Keep the gaze steady. And then lower your hand, lower your knee, and then we can go the opposite way. The left leg can extend back, we can hold here, or you can extend the right arm as well, opposite arm and leg. Deepening the breath into the belly. You can even do ujjayi breathing, that gentle constriction of the throat, the glottis, to create that oceanic breath. And then let's lower that hand down, lower the knee down. Let's take our knees wide, big toes together. Sit back on our heels and stretch back into a wide-legged child. The arms can come forward, walking your hands out in front of you. You can rest the forehead down toward the mat, lengthening the spine, feeling that beautiful stretch. And then breathing into the belly here. Let's take some beautiful breaths. I also say with these sort of sattvic diet as well as being the vegetables and fruits that are grown in the sun, that receive the sunshine. And they say that the rajasic foods, the spicy foods and chilies and peppers, but also vegetables like onions, they're considered rajasic. And our caffeine and very much that busy sort of lifestyle. And then the tamasic, like I said, the fast foods, and also refined foods like white foods and foods with white bread and foods with preservatives, but also frozen foods, red meat, and also mouldy cheeses even. So brie and blue cheeses are considered tamasic, unfortunately. I am a fan of blue cheese. And then we can gently walk our hands all the way back in toward us. Well done. So let's now come up onto our knees, and we can take our hands to our hips and just start to get a little bit of movement around here, circling our hips. Feeling into that movement. And then we can go in the other direction. And then let's step our right foot forward. We can take our right foot out in front of us. Beautiful. And either stay here or raise your arms up toward the ceiling. Lift and lengthen through your spine. And just notice the pelvis. We want to draw in a little through those lower abdominal muscles and tuck the tailbone down a little bit here toward the ground as the arms extend up. And then let's take the arms out to the sides and we'll come into Garudasana arms. So we'll take our right arm under our left arm. So right arm under, coming into our eagle arms. And then we can release the arms, raise them up toward the ceiling and lower the hands in toward the heart. Beautiful. Let's come forward now with the hands for a moment, just so we can stretch out through our back leg. So now you can reach that leg back, maybe lifting that back knee or just coming down into a deeper lunge is fine too. Otherwise you can curl the back toes under and straighten that back knee for a few breaths. Good, and then lower that knee down. Let's bring that right leg back. Walk our hands in, come up onto the knees again and do a few more circles before we do the other side. Good, and then we'll step our left foot forward, starting in a high lunge. Lengthen the tailbone down, draw in a little through those lower abdominal muscles, those transverse abdominal muscles. Raise the arms up, lifting up through the heart space. Well done. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale the breath out. And then open the arms, this time taking the left arm under. We did the right arm under last time, so left arm under in our eagle arms. And releasing the arms now, raise them up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands into your beautiful heart. And then we'll come forward into that deeper lunge. So hands can come down onto the ground. We can curl the back toes under and lift that back knee, or you can keep that knee on the ground. Well done. So the knee is lifting, we're pressing into that back heel, we're opening the heart forward, and we'll take 3 or 4 breaths. And then lower that knee down, walk our hands in. We can bring that left leg back. If it's comfortable, curl the toes under and walk our hands in toward us for a moment. Interlace the fingers together, press the palms out in front of you. And then raise the arms up above your head. And then releasing the arms all the way down. Well done. Let's come into a little squat, as long as that's okay for our knees. And you can either stay in a nice high squat, bring the arms in between the knees, you can take the hands on the ground, the heels could be raised, or we can lower the heels down if that's comfortable. Hands could either come into the heart, or you could keep your fingers down on the ground. Well done. And let's take some breaths here, extending up, lifting a little through the heart space. So there's a lot of things that can affect the qualities, the gunas within us, and one of the easiest ways to influence them is through our diet. So there might be, you might even notice, depending on the state of the mind, perhaps, that could be affected by, our recent diet or not, but it's good just to have a think about. Well done. And then we can make our way up. So you can either come all the way straight up, or you can come down onto the ground first. Well done. So we're up. And let's move our blanket off our mat for a moment, taking it down on the ground. And coffee's an obvious one. A lot of, Melbourne especially, Australia, such a coffee culture. So that's going to really influence us as well. And I know if I drink coffee, I get quite anxious. It really ramps me up. I can feel that rajasic quality in my body, but also my mind. I can start to feel a bit agitated. So let's stand in Tadasana. We can lift and spread through our toes. You can extend the big toes together. The little toes can extend all the way apart. And then lengthening down through the tailbone, extending up, lengthening your beautiful spine, extending up through the crown of the head. Let's take some breaths here in Tadasana. Just slowing down the breath a little bit more. We'll take 3 more breaths. Nice and slow and steady. Just for a moment, tuning into the body again, the ground beneath us. Imagine you're spreading roots down into the earth. And the breath is helping to stabilize the mind and the body. And that you're really present and connected in your awareness. Well done. Slowly blinking open the eyes. Let's raise the right arm up toward the ceiling, reaching it away, and then a gentle side stretch. And then come all the way up. Release that arm. We'll go the other way. Inhale, reach, and exhale to the side. And then coming all the way up, exhale, lower that arm all the way down. Beautiful. And looking at a point in front of you, we're going to come up onto our toes now, raise both arms up above the head and lifting up onto the balls of the feet. And we can slowly lower down. And then we'll do that again, focusing on a point, gently lifting. And then exhale as we lower down. Well done. We did Lord Krishna pose last week. I can't remember if we did it the week before, but I'm going to do it again today. So with Lord Krishna, we bring the hands into a little mudra. So we take the middle 2 fingers and the thumb. So the index fingers and the little fingers are extending away. And that's going to be, we're going to be holding our flute with our 2 hands. So you can take the right hand across the chest and you face the palm in towards you, and the other hand, the palm is facing away. Perfect. And then we take our left knee and we're going to bend that, pointing in the direction out to the left, and we can either come up onto the toes, or if we're steady, we can step that foot across the other standing leg and either stay here or then lift the foot up off the ground and resting it against the leg. And then from here we can look down, if you're steady and feel comfortable, to look down over that right shoulder. This is our Lord Krishna. It's called Natarasana, Nata meaning dance. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move gently toward the other side so we can come back to center, keep our hands in the mudra, and swapping onto the other leg, take our flute to the other side, bending the right knee now, either rest the toes there or across, or lifting the leg, and then looking out over the other shoulder down toward the ground. We're actually looking over the shoulder because the mouthpiece is extending here, so we're playing our flute. And then we can go the opposite way and moving the hands the other way. So this is a moving mudra as well. So it's considered a mudra. It's obviously a balance, so it's an asana too. And we'll do that one more time on each side. And actually we'll go one more time over here because this was our first side, so then we'll one last time the other side so we can balance ourselves out. This is the Lord Krishna pose. And then come back to center. Beautiful. Take your hands into your heart for a moment. Once you're finished, breathing in breathing out. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Releasing the hands down. Let's come up to the top of our mat now. We're going to take a big step back with our right foot and coming into warrior two, bending into that left knee, extending open the arms, coming into warrior two pose. Looking out over that front middle finger, over the fingernail, really good, well done. And then let's straighten that front leg and come into triangle, reaching forward as far as you can, and then windmilling the arms down. In Trikonasana, you can either rest that front hand in front of the leg, or you can gently rest the hand on the leg to be a bit more supported, without taking too much weight on the legs. So we're really lifting up and out, drawing up through the legs, extending up and out along the waist. Well done. Soften that front knee, come all the way up. Good work. Lower the arms down. Let's just flip the feet the other way. Bending into our warrior two on the other side. Well done. Breathing here. Yes. And then straighten that front leg. Let's come into our triangle, reaching forward, windmill the arms under, into our Trikonasana. Lengthening both sides of the waist, well done. And then come all the way back up. Lower the arms down. Let's turn those toes in so both feet are facing forward and a little bit pigeon-toed. Hands can come to the hips. Lengthen the spine and let's come into a forward bend. Prasarita Padottanasana. The hands can come down the legs, or we can reach them down anywhere along the leg, or perhaps down onto the ground. We can let the head release down, feeling the ground beneath the soles of the feet, that connection. The heads, the bodies bowing forward. We can press down into the soles of the feet and lift a little through the seat bones. Take a few slow breaths here, letting the upper body release down. Letting go. It's very much a sort of surrendering pose here. Bowing down, and then we can walk the hands out. We can bring the hands to the hips, come all the way up. Very good. And then we can bring the heels in and bend into our knees into a goddess. Maybe bringing the hands into the heart. Well done. Feeling into the legs. Notice if you can go a little bit deeper. Oh, yes. And then straightening the legs. And exhale, let's bend again. Take a moment here. And then straightening the legs, walking our feet all the way in, and have a little shake into your legs. Beautiful. We're just going to do a couple more standing poses. So this time we can come toward the bottom of our mat. And let's take a big step forward with our right foot and come into warrior one. So this time the hips are facing forward toward the front of the mat. We're bending into that front knee. Hands could either come to the hips, or we can raise the arms all the way up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. And then from warrior one, we're going to make our way into warrior three. So we can reach the arms forward. You can walk that back foot in a little bit to shift the weight onto that front foot, and maybe lifting the left foot up off the ground and looking down, finding a spot to focus on the floor beneath. Maybe raising the leg a little higher, turn the toes down toward the ground as you come into warrior three. Finding your balance, And we can gently lift back up. Oh, have a little shake into your legs. Just get the hips a little wiggle around. Oh, take a couple of breaths again into Tadasana before we do the other side. Well done. So coming to the back of the mat again, this time stepping your left foot forward, bending into your left knee. Hands could come to the hips. We could stay here or raise the arms all the way up. Warrior one. Taking some beautiful breaths here. And then we can come forward with the arms, shift the weight onto that left foot. I often start with it a little bit bent as I start to raise the right leg up off the ground, and I can straighten the leg. Turn the right toes down toward the ground so that leg's rotating down. Well done. And we can gently release. Sometimes I step back onto that leg. Well done. Oh, come back to center. Have a little shake again. Really good. And just standing into Tadasana. The feet can be together or apart. Take a few breaths again here. Nice deep breath in. Relaxing breath all the way out. Beautiful. Let's take our hands onto our shoulders and just do a few shoulder circles here. So we can inhale, raise the arms, exhale them around. Opening our shoulders, getting some movement. And we can go in the other direction. And releasing the arms with the feet hip width apart or a little wider. Let's interlace our hands behind the back. If it's comfortable to take the arms together, hands together, you can. And then we're going to bend the knees a little bit and come into a forward bend. So let the upper body come down over the legs. And the arms can either reach upward toward the ceiling or over. You can go as deep as you want in the knees. Take some breaths, just letting the shoulders gently release. You might find they slowly open a little bit more breath by breath. You might just notice a little bit. Gentle opening, just with the breath. Well done. Well done. And then we can draw the shoulders back, the arms, we can reach back and we can slowly come all the way up. Oh, and then you can let the shoulders go. Oh, relax the body for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale the breath all the way out. Let's tilt our head now over to one side, relaxing the shoulders. And then coming back to center, let's go the other way. Coming all the way back up to center. Draw the chin toward the chest. And then lifting the chin toward the ceiling. And coming back to center. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale the breath all the way out. Well done. Let's come down onto the ground and we're going to make our way down onto our tummy. So if you feel like you need to use a blanket, if you've got a harder floor like mine, you can use a blanket. Pop it down on the ground. And then just coming to lie down on your tummy for a moment. And the arms could either rest down beside you, or you could take your forehead onto your arms. So you could let the hands rest over each other, and then the forehead might gently rest down onto the top of your arms. And now let's lift up into a little sphinx. So we're going to take our forearms onto the ground now, opening the heart forward. We can draw the shoulders back a little bit, and you can either soften here, or we can engage through the legs, pressing the pubic bone down into the ground to find a little bit more support, to work a little bit more actively. And then we can breathe here, or if you prefer, you could relax and we can soften down into it, or we can find a little more length. Switch on the glutes, the legs, and feel a little more extension along the spine. And then we can come to rest down again. You could rest in the same position as before, or you might like to take the arms down beside the body and rest your cheek or your ear on the ground. And now let's come up into Salambhasana. So for Salambhasana, we're raising the head, the arms and the legs up off the ground. So we're going to lift up using all of our strong back muscles. Well done. The arms are reaching up, the legs are reaching up, squeezing into our back muscles and into the glutes. And relax all the way down. You might like to turn your head the opposite way. Let the shoulders release and the whole body relax. And we'll come up again, and there's two options, either Salambhasana, or you could bend the knees and take hold of the feet or legs in Dhanurasana, a little bit deeper. So then we can press the feet into the hands, we can lift up through the legs, and holding here. So your choice. Well done, really good. Take a few more breaths. And then relaxing all the way down, head to the other side. Let the ankles gently roll out and relax your body. Let's lift the head. Take the hands now under the shoulders, pushing ourselves up to rest back into child. So we can take the buttocks to the heels. The arms could either come down around the body with the forehead coming to the mat, or you could make fists with your hands and rest your forehead onto your fists. Just breathing into the back of the body, and you'll feel breath by breath here again, that the body just gently releasing after doing that back bend and really working into strengthening through the back of the body and opening through the front. Now we're just letting the back of the body really gently open breath by breath, releasing, stretching a little more through the back of the body. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then we can gently roll up the spine, walking our hands all the way up. Well done. Let's stretch our legs out in front of us now. Beautiful. We're going to do a one leg forward bend. So we're going to bend our right knee and bring our foot into the inside of the other leg. And then raise both arms up and let's come forward, hinging from the hips. So keeping the spine nice and straight. We want to avoid rounding the back. We're going to keep nice and long. We can lower the hands down, either onto the ground or onto our leg. And we can take some beautiful breaths here and closing the eyes, letting your awareness go inward to the breath again. And really letting yourself sort of cool and calm down after those back bends. So our forward bends are very calming and soothing. So Sattva really manifests itself as sort of purity and knowledge and harmony. The characteristics of goodness and joy, satisfaction and contentment. It's free of fear and violence and malice. So it's a sort of purest and most forgiving force within us. And for our spiritual practice, we aim to increase our Sattva guna. And we can do this by reducing the rajas and tamas in the mind and body and eating sattvic food, practicing meditation, mantra, and adopting a non-violent lifestyle. There are a few ways that we increase our sattva, and also surrounding ourselves with positive environments as much as we can, positive people, doing activities that bring us and others joy. Good, let's gently walk our hands back in and just raise the arms up for a moment, reach to the sky, and then exhale, lower the arms down. Now we're going to swap to the other leg, Janusasana. Raising the arms up, lengthen the spine, and exhale as you come forward and reaching anywhere down that leg. And breathing here. And Rajas, on the other hand, is expressed as passion and action and energy and motion. And we need all of them. It's characterized by a feeling of attachment, and there is a longing for satisfaction and desire. So a Rajasic, there's sort of movement and busyness, and sometimes there's that need of, meeting expectations, or other people getting frustrated when other people aren't meeting our expectations. We're constantly driven, we're wanting more, we're needing more. So we want to avoid here fried foods and spicy foods to help reduce our rajas, as well as things like reducing our coffee. And then let's walk our hands all the way back in. Just one moment, raising the arms up again, finding length, and then exhale, lower the arms down. Let's extend the other leg out and then take both legs wide. We've got one more forward bend. This is our wide leg. Forward bend, Upper Vista. Upper Vista Konasana. We're going to walk our hands forward to wherever's comfortable. So it doesn't have to be far. Just listen to your body as you press down through the back of the legs. We can extend to wherever's comfortable for your body today. And you can close down the eyes and breathe here. So the third guna, tamas, manifests as impurity and a laziness and a darkness, a stuckness. And it can prevent us from seeing reality. It's considered that there may be sort of a little bit more unethical practices occurring. Where we're suiting our own agenda and desires and entrapped in our egos. So we want to avoid, or it includes even things like there can be a little bit of that stuckness, that inaction. So even things like depression might sit under tamas, whereas anxiety might sit under rajas. That sort of difference in energy. So we want to avoid tamasic foods or overindulging, including meat eating or just limiting. I'm not saying you need to become a vegetarian. It's just good to understand this philosophy. Frozen foods, refined foods, fast foods, and the mouldy cheeses. And then let's walk our hands all the way back in, gather in our little legs, stretching them out for a moment. Well done. And then let's cross our legs into a comfortable seated cross. And we're going to do a little spinal twist. So we can take the arms out to the sides and then gently twist around to the right. Take your right hand behind you. The left hand can come across the knee or onto the knee. Inhale, finding length, and exhale as you gently twist. And sending the breath into the belly. I think as well in this sort of Western world, people think a lot more about the physical body than how things affect the mind. So when we think of, food and diet, we think of how it impacts our weight or how it makes us look. But we forget that it also impacts our mind and the state of mind, which is really the most important thing to be aware of, our thoughts. Our thoughts are affecting, everything, especially when we associate with them. So let's come back to center and go around the other way. So it's nice to know that we can also influence the quality of the mind with the foods that we eat, but also the way that we eat. If we're rushing our food or if we're overeating, and that can bring us a little out of balance too. And then let's gently come back to center. Hopefully you've done both sides there. And we're going to do Durga now, the Durga Mudra. And Durga we've worked with a little bit lately. She's our warrior goddess. And this is a really good one for panic disorder and also just to help to calm us and help to balance us. So for Durga, we make fists with the hands. Keep the thumbs out to begin with. And then we take the thumbs through between the first and the second fingers. So through those gaps, we're just taking it through the first and the second finger so the thumbs are sticking out between the first and the second finger. And then we can just let those hands rest down into on the legs, sort of on the hips gently, or you can bring the hands up into the waist and the abdomen. And as we close our eyes for a moment, we can bring in that inner courage and strength of Durga. All the ethical principles of Durga, moving as well from that darkness to light, from the tamas to the sattva qualities in the body and mind and inner being. You know, they even say, sort of speaking negatively about others is very tamasic. gossiping and things like that. Negativity, being around that. You can feel it, it can be quite contagious. Sometimes you can feel that sort of energy when you're with different people. And you can also feel those really busy environments like shopping centres with all of the bright contrasting colours and flashing lights. Very rajasic environment. And it can be quite exhausting too sometimes. So just take a moment and just feeling into your calm centre, your calm mind, your peaceful mind, your natural state of being, beyond this sort of, we call it Maya, beyond the illusion. And then keeping the eyes closed, we can relax the hand mudra, let the hands rest anywhere that's comfortable, and just take a moment to notice how you feel as you come out of Durga Mudra. And now we're going to make our way into Shavasana for our final relaxation. Or if you wanted to take your legs up, you're very welcome to on the couch or a chair. If you wanted to do a gentle inversion as well, feel free to. Or you could lie straight down on your back and just relax and just still feeling that quality of Durga Mudra, letting yourself settle down into your body. Just check that the legs are comfortably apart and that the arms are comfortably beside the body if you're in Shavasana. So yes, we can influence the gunas by influencing the external objects in our lifestyle and also our thoughts. And even makes you think of that proverb, you are what you eat. It means that the quality of what we eat, digest and absorb has a direct impact as well on how we look and feel and how we think. So of course we're going to eat a combination of different things, but the Ayurvedic diet encourages us to eat highly nutritious sattvic foods. So to eat mostly sattvic foods, moderate rajasic foods, so we can still have those spicy foods in moderation, and very limited tamasic foods, preferably no tamasic foods. And that this can help us be more healthy and balanced in our body and mind as well. Not just by doing just our yoga practice, but taking yoga into other areas of our life as well. So relaxing down your whole body. And I'm just going to read you a quick story first, relating to the gunas. So as you relax down, you can have a listen. And you may even like to just sort of scan your body for any areas of tension as you listen to this story and give yourself permission to relax. So this is the story of the mango tree. It helps to explain the three gunas and how they manifest in our lives. Helps to give us a clearer understanding of these concepts and their significant role in our own happiness, in human happiness and contentment. So in a small, poor village, 3 friends dreamed of a better life. So they set off to explore the city, walking under the intense Indian summer sun. By noon, they were hungry and thirsty, and stopped for a break in a nearby forest. And under the shade of a tree, they noticed a mango tree laden with fruit. And seeing this as a blessing to quench their hunger and thirst, the oldest friend approached the tree. He saw ripe mangoes on the ground, and he picked them up and savoured them. Thanking the universe for this gift, he then planted their seeds in the hope that they might grow into a tree to benefit future travellers as well. Next, the second friend walked to the tree. He noticed that he could sell the mangoes and the wood of the tree in the market, benefiting himself. So after enjoying some mangoes, he broke off some branches full of fruit and carried them away, proud of his clever idea. Finally, the third friend went to the tree, envious of the tree's success despite his failed attempts to grow one himself. He decided to destroy it out of spite. But the mangoes he picked were unripe and sour. He didn't know how to tell the difference. And instead of learning, he let his anger dictate his actions, setting the tree ablaze. In this tale, the three friends represent the three different qualities: gratitude and wisdom, Sattva; self-interest, Rajas; and negative ego, tamas, darkness. Each of us is guided by these three qualities, affecting how we think and feel and act. Beginning now to pay attention to your breathing, following the natural rhythm of your breath. Bringing your awareness now to your third eye and to the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, begin to imagine the base of the spine. And you can imagine a seed, and perhaps this seed is even at the bottom of a lotus pond. So in the mind, you could either see the seed in the bottom of the lotus pond, or you could imagine it as well as the location of Muladhara chakra, the base chakra point, with roots spreading down into the mud beneath. This dark and dormant seed, expressed as tamas quality. And through the darkness, it begins to grow and make its way slowly up through the muddy water, moving and flowing, slowly making its way up toward that hint of light on the surface. And through the darkness it travels, gaining momentum. And through this struggle we have the Rajasic quality as it makes its way up toward the surface. And with the sunlight shining down, it starts to form a beautiful lotus bud. And slowly by slowly, the lotus petals begin to open. And we see this radiant symbol of purity and light, of Sattva, this radiant lotus flower blossoming and blooming, coming from the depths of the lotus pond, the dark and muddy waters beneath. Its brilliant, radiant self, a symbol of the heart's space and the journey from darkness to light, from ignorance to inner wisdom and to self-realization. Bring your awareness to this lotus flower and see it as a symbol of your own heart, radiant and light, open and blossoming. And we can imagine, if we had in mind as well the spine, that journey from Muladhara chakra all the way to the crown of the head, and the blossoming of Sahasrara chakra at the crown. The lotus flower blooming, radiant and light. Symbol of our own journey through struggles and difficulties, frustrations of the mind. To gratitude and love and hope, positivity and peace. They say that enlightened beings, or attaining samadhi, involves liberating ourselves from the three gunas and perceiving the truth beyond Maya's illusion. So a person who has risen above the gunas remains unaffected by life's dualities, such as pain and pleasure. And in the wise words of the Bhagavad Gita, when one rises above the three gunas that originate in the body, one is freed from birth, old age, disease and death, and attains enlightenment. And that's the Bhagavad Gita, verse 14-20. So when you're ready, we can now begin to notice any sounds around you. and the activities of the day. Take a moment again to observe your own body and mind, your heart. Perhaps a little more balance you may have created from your practice today. As the awareness comes back into your body, you might like to gently start to move your fingers and toes, starting to bring your awareness back into the room. Or as I say with these online classes, you're always welcome just to remain there. If you feel intuitively you'd like to stay resting, then feel free to. Otherwise, we'll gently start to make our way up into a seated position. And then just bringing the hands into our heart in Anjali Mudra, but taking a moment here just once again to feel that connection, the gratitude in the heart space. And I invite you to join me in our final chant of 3 Oms, followed by the Om Shanti Peace mantra. When you're ready, breathing in. Om. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat, peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.